Okay, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the workshop of the Board of County Commissioners. Would you all please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, we are going to jump around just a little bit on our agenda today. We're going to bring up item number 2, which is the Mancos Conservation District request for a letter of support. And we have Ms. Rank and Ms. Harris here. Come on down. You can sit at the table. Again, pull a mic as close as you can. Turn it on. And we'll let you guys go from there.
All right, thank you. Good afternoon, Commissioners. My name is Gretchen Rank. I'm the Executive Director for the Mancos Conservation District. And I'm here with Tara Harris, our new Forestry Program Coordinator with the district. And we are here seeking a letter of support from the Montezuma County Board of Commissioners for a forest restoration and wildfire risk mitigation grant through Colorado State Forest Service. I'm going to let Ms. Harris tell you a little bit about the scope of work and what we're seeking with these grant dollars, and then we're certainly happy to answer any questions that you have for us.
Okay.
Hi, good afternoon, Commissioners. Yeah, just a little rundown on the Forest Restoration and Wildfire Mitigation Grant, otherwise known as FIRWORM. We're applying for added capacity for personnel as well as equipment. The personnel will be support to conduct outreach and planning efforts around wildfire mitigation and forest restoration in Montezuma County, as well as increased capacity to implement work on the ground, so forestry, thinning largely. Capacity building activities will focus on forest projects on private lands that reduce wildfire risk, protect infrastructure, improve soil health, tie into cross-boundary treatments, and support utilization. In addition to the personnel, we are also asking for equipment in a truck and a dump trailer to haul chips away from chipped wood materials away from project sites. This would allow us to reduce fuels on project sites instead of leaving the chips there. And we do have forest industry locals in the area who would utilize those chips, such as Aspen Wallwood. They have their pellet mill, which they just opened up. We also have Phoenix Recycling in Durango, who is creating mulch and compost with unusable forest product materials. The project boundary for FIRWORM spans a multi-jurisdictional high wildfire risk lands. Capacity will focus on private lands, but as part of a cohesive cross-boundary strategy between the Montezuma County CWPP, DWRF, and RMRI, which is Rocky Mountain Restoration Initiative, as well as CFLRP and the COSWAP priority area. This project covers 7 of 15 CWPP priority neighborhoods and will work in tandem with Wildfire Adaptive Partnership to reduce risk on private lands from defensible space up to larger thinning projects. The project area contains top priority Rocky Mountain Restoration Initiative area in Montezuma County. And this was determined based on wildland-urban interface and critical infrastructure values, such as our water sources. The project area is predominantly private lands, but also contains the Ute Mountain Ute Adams Ranch, BLM, CSFS, and is adjacent to the San Juan National Forest. Many of these neighboring federal and state lands have recent current and planned treatments. So in addition to community risk reduction, treatments will help reduce post-fire risk, sedimentation to critical water resources for the town of Mancos and Ute Mountain Ute and rural users and irrigators. Let's
Okay.
run down.
All right.
Any questions for us?
questions. I've actually got a few, but,
Go ahead.
so what type of equipment are you basically looking for? Is it, are they chippers, mulchers, are they, I mean, what kind of equipment are you kind of looking at?
So the current, the Conservation District currently has a wood chipper available for rent or for some of these projects. What we've found with that is that there's only a certain percentage of private landowners comfortable with running that kind of equipment, and not all of them have a truck to come and pick it up and bring it to the location. And so in the last year's work, as we kind of started to develop that program, it became clear that a truck to haul that to the location site, and then a dump trailer in tandem with that to be able to remove chips from the site, or specifically smaller neighborhoods, would just offer a great degree of services and probably get some additional work done for private landowners.
So basically a dump trailer and a truck large
And a
enough
truck
to
to haul it.
Okay. How many personnel?
We are currently looking at one full-time forestry assistant to provide technical assistance and mapping, GIS work, really an assistant for Tara. And then we have also been approved for a second AmeriCorps Vista position for the Conservation District. And so that AmeriCorps Vista position is a large portion of our match for this grant, and would also allow for outreach and education, workshop, development, website, systems, internal systems to run the forestry programs.
So with the outreach that we currently have, this would be to enhance that. But what do you guys see annually, or, I mean, what are we actually seeing in our community
As far as
people that we're
outreach
serving
and
through the
education.
outreach? What are we getting?
So currently, a lot of it is education that the Conservation District provides in partnership with a lot of the forestry collaboratives and the High Desert Conservation District. A great example, we held almost an all-day workshop in April where we had landowners come out and experience different stations. So some of those were evaluating defensible space on a building. What does that look like for them personally with their home and structures? We had a contractor come out and do chainsaw lessons, and what does it look like to recognize ladder fuels on a property and what to cut and what not to cut. We had experts come out and taught how to build piles specifically for burning later on if you want to do pile burning. And then we had the wood chipper on site, and we had a big demonstration on wood chipper safety and how to utilize a wood chipper, and then ways to responsibly use the wood chips. Typically, you don't want to spread them right around your house because that just increases those fuels. So it was an all-day workshop with different stations. We had over 50 individuals that came that day from all landowner types, acreage. We had the NRCS present on EQIP programs. So we did a cost share portion of the day. We talked about the co-swap award and cost share benefits and opportunities for local landowners to get involved. And then NRCS did a great presentation on EQIP and what that looks like for ag lands.
Okay. And then lastly, your defensible space requirement, is that just around the structures? Is that, what is that? Or are they using as a model for a defensible space around the structure now?
So currently the Conservation District works in partnership with Wildfire Adapted Partnership for all defensible space. And so we work really closely with Ashley Downing and that organization to provide defensible space, not only education and mitigation efforts in Montezuma County. And then the Conservation District comes in and is working on cost share opportunities kind of above that defensible space realm. So that can be, 5 to 10 acres and above. And so we come in and offer cost share and technical assistance, connections to EQIP, those types of programs for really mitigation outside of the defensible space realm. And then we also are working with Wildfire Adapted Partnership on prescribed burning or pile burning for neighborhoods, HOAs that want to take advantage of cost share opportunities for that specific element of land management. And so the Conservation District is holding kind of the grant funds and working in partnership with Wildfire Adapted Partnership to offer that.
Okay. All right. That answered my question. Yours?
You asked what I was gonna ask.
Okay. Commissioner?
I don't know. They've been doing a lot of work around, so.
Well, I mean, I think that mitigation, if everybody out there would understand it and do more about it, we would save a lot more structures. Although in this area, I think we have a lot of irrigated acres that we're lucky, or we're blessed, however you want to look at it. But there still is we still have a lot of JP, and there's a lot that could be mitigated. So I don't have any other questions at all.
No.
This will be on our agenda tomorrow to make a decision. We can't make decisions in a workshop. But
All right.
I think that's it. Thank you.
We'd also be happy to come back and give you a forestry update anytime on current efforts and number of acres currently being mitigated or planned for mitigation, that sort of thing. So we'd be happy
I
to
think
do
that
as
would be
well.
nice. I think that a lot of the people, or I would
Think
think that it
maybe-
would be nice to see what we have mitigated in this area.
That and maybe towards the spring when it would be more on their mind rather than they're kind of shutting down and waiting for winter. So
Yeah, sounds great.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you
you.
all. Okay, and now we'll go back to the very first item. We have a benefits committee discussion for our 2024 health insurance benefits, and we have Mr. Jake, I can never say this right, Zehnder? Zehnder. All right. Zehnder and Entourage, come on down.
yeah. You can carry it around like Monty Hall.
If you want to put it like right here, the camera will pick it up, and you can just kind of,
Will the camera pick it up if I do it
yep.
Yeah.
here? I
Yep.
think I've done that one here.
Yep.
We're gonna do the short version of this. Good.
Yep.
Good for sound? Okay. All right, so.
Actually, is that on?
Is that microphone on?
Now it's
There
on.
we go.
Perfect. So, just a reminder, I'm gonna just do kind of a quick overview of why we do what we do, what we've been doing for roughly the last 8 years, and kind of give just a quick presentation on the insurance piece. So, our insurance looks a little something like this. We have 2 protections in place, one known as aggregate coverage, one known as specific coverage. So let's go through the specific coverage first. We take on risk on each employee up to $60,000. So Montezuma County has roughly 270 members on the plan. So what we'll do here, I'm obviously not gonna write out 270 employees, but let's use 6 as an example. So here's how the 2 coverages come into place. We have employee 1 that maybe has 30K worth of claims. Employee 2, who goes way over the spec here, or the specific insurance is 60K. Let's call this maybe 250K. Because again, what this is doing is it's protecting the plan on the individual level. So that way no one individual can take all of our funds out of our account. Then you have another employee, so on. Then you have a couple more that hit the specific level. Our aggregate coverage is all these claims, imagine dropping down and kind of filling up this bucket here. And typically, what we would love to see, and insurance companies would like to see, is this running about 80%. Because what happens with these dollars on the arrangement we're on is we get back any dollar not spent. Comes back to us. So much better way to do insurance, because on a fully insured or a pooled product, you're paying all these premiums in, and at the end of the year, they're either keeping the profits or the deficits. Our situation this year is a little bit different. Again, we have this cap, so imagine this at 100% of our aggregate coverage again, so aggregate being the whole group. We are closer to 149%, because as of now, 9 months in, we are $250K underfunded. Our funding on this is typically, I'm using a rough figure here, but it's about 1.8 to 1.9 million that we pre-fund in claims. This, we pay Cigna to take on the risk over and above that 60K. So let's just use the 1.9 figure. If that's the case, we're paying them about 600K to insure against the catastrophic. In claims this year on the catastrophic, by the end of the year with lag claims and where it should end up, we're expected to pay 800 to $1 million in large claims. So, paid in 600K, they're paying out 800, we're underfunded by 250K. So, not the best look for us at this point. So, what's my job? My job is to go to the market and make sure that you guys are getting the best deal that we can within these parameters. So within these parameters, we have 20 plus carriers that we go out to that will take on risk here at the specific level and take on risk here. All those quotes, and let me backtrack, our current spend, again, is about 2.5 million. These quotes to take on the risk here and here came in between, 3.0 to 3.8 million for those 20 plus carriers. So that's what we call the stop loss market. I always check multiple markets for you guys every year to make sure, again, that our dollar is being spent the best way possible. So, who's left? It's BOCC. And I'll add one. That's an outlier. We'll talk about them in a second. So BOCC is Blue Cross, United, Cigna, Aetna. Blue Cross came in, you got it, perfect, thank you. Came in at 21%. So they're looking at these, they're saying, hey, we want to add 21% to that 2.5 mil based on the numbers. Cigna's original came in at 26.9, is that correct? Mm-hmm. Okay. United Healthcare came in at 13. And then Aetna, DTQ, declined to quote. So they said, and they're not declining your group, what they're saying is, hey, we're not competitive. We'll give you a quote, but we're gonna be closer to this range. So it's kind of like, do we really go through that work? So you have a DTQ there. Now Gravy, who's a newer carrier in the market, came in at 11. Cigna knows your data. Basically what they're doing is they want to make an investment and try to keep you for the next year. So what they did is they came off of their 26.9 and came in at 13.9. However, they said to offset that and get us even further down, further decrement, they would give us 145K admin credit, which then brings our total increase to 8.3%. Cigna full well knows that, and just being open, that next year, they're at risk to lose about $500K based on our claims and ongoing claims. However, they don't want to lose your case, so they came in the best comparable, or best competitive, excuse me. So with all this, like I shared with the insurance committee, this is about a month and a half worth of work. So it's calling these carriers, because these carriers did not start at any of these numbers. It's calling out these carriers, getting them excited about your group, just going through the process with them. I know you don't have a lot of time. I know it's a workshop. I'll answer any questions, but I'll leave it there and answer any questions. I'll give you that kind of a quick version here.
I mean, the answer's right there. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, there's not a lot of
We're
choices
out
to
of
choose
options.
from, I mean.
Not with this claims data, no.
Right.
no. I guess the biggest question, and I've asked this several years in the past, is how do we reduce?
is there a way to reduce
Is there a
those
way
big
to
claims?
reduce it other than catastrophic events in people's life? I mean, is there a way to? I mean, I'm looking at the benefits committee. How do we get people healthier? Yeah, I mean, really, how do I don't know, because now I've looked at this now and it's gone up just in the last 2 years over 16%.
Although unfortunately, had we taken the initial offers, we'd be at 40+%. I mean, that's why we do the work, we negotiate the best possible that we can get for our particular group. And some will ask, hey, what if we got into a pool? Well, we're in a huge pool. We're in one of the biggest pools out there. It's called Cigna. And the reason that they're able to get us to this 8.3 is because they've got a group that got a 5% increase, but probably should have had a 0% increase. So we're reaping some of the benefits of being in that pool, so that we are being subsidized by that pool this year. And to an extent, we might have been last year too, given our claims experience. So I guess to answer the question, there are things we can do, but there has to be awareness that we have claims and there's unhealthy lifestyles within our group.
Jake,
Yes, sir.
with that insurance company, do they offer annual physicals or anything like that?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Your annual physical is preventative. It's free.
Right.
That's
It's free.
100%.
You can go in. So we did, this is probably 4 years ago, we did an initiative where if you just went in and got your physical, we gave out prizes. Do you guys remember what that was? It was Visa gift cards. Yeah. It was Visa gift cards. We gave out $25 Visa gift cards to go get your physical. Because that's step one.
Yes.
Preventative. What the heck do I have? That's step one. And it worked for a little while and then it fizzled out.
Because
then,
you may find something in that physical that will head off a larger claim later on. Yes.
Yep. So in essence, what that does is it might affect our small claims a little bit
Yeah.
because maybe they need an MRI or a CAT scan on something that's suspicious.
Right.
So that will raise our smaller claims a little bit. Where it protects us is in these larger claims. So again, it's called preventative for a reason because it's preventing the catastrophic. So I guess what I would say to that is wellness is only as good as its members.
Yes.
And we've done the initiatives, we've given numerous things, but at the end of the day, it's gotta be a little bit on the members we've talked about this for how many years now? I think 4 with just this crew.
Right.
So honestly, and just being open, and I know we're on camera here, this is an extremely fair renewal given what we have. to partially, very fair.
How do we compare with other counties that you insure?
I would say, we've talked about this, I would say the worst risks that I see are municipalities, hospitals, and school districts. For some reason, the claims are historically higher. So, in regards to this renewal, as we talked about, there's, this is on the lower side from what I'm seeing a lot of counties get. Is it lower by much? No. Is it lower? Yes.
That doesn't help.
Well, it should help a little bit. Do you guys have anything to add?
Like you said, we've gone through all of this health and wellness thing. We even had the health and wellness committee, and that lasted
Half a year.
maybe a few months. It's just, you have to have buy-in, and it's really hard to get buy-in for that stuff. I don't know why.
Yeah, I think the single most beneficial thing we could do was get those annual physicals.
I mean, maybe
Yeah, when you can, that's another part of the problem.
maybe a suggestion, and again, it's easy to spend other people's money, but maybe what the county does is give everybody, they get designated 1 hour to go get that physical. 1 hour PTO.
But they have to use it for that.
They have to use it for that. And it has to be documented to their
Yes.
supervisor that that's what they did. That's a thought. Hey, we'll give you an hour off. Go get your physical done.
Might take that long just to schedule the physical.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's one way to do it. Again, we can bring back initiatives, but again, I'd say from the wellness perspective, we just have to have buy-in, and buy-in for longer.
I know in the fire department, in the volunteer service, we initiated yearly physicals. It was mandatory. And it really saved us a lot of money in our insurance and saved some guys in the long run,
Sure.
and gals.
Yeah. Hey, maybe you got hypertension and never knew it,
That's it.
and it saved you from a stroke.
Yes.
Maybe you've got borderline diabetes. You gotta give up drinking beer. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I agree. So that would be one way that I could see. I don't know that you could make it mandatory. I'm not,
I don't,
probably
I
this
don't,
guy you
yeah,
wanna talk to about that, but,
I don't
maybe
think you
that is
could, but
It's really, there's really nothing that you're gonna make mandatory in people's personal lives. It's gotta be, like you
Yeah.
said, it's buy-in. You either are gonna make a change in your lifestyle to be healthier, or you're not. And it's,
And
that
statistically,
simple.
more so in rural America, you definitely see a little bit more unhealthy lifestyles. That's statistically out there. Is it a huge discrepancy? No, but you do see an uptick.
okay. Any other questions?
no.
All right, well, thank you for the great news.
It's a heck of a lot better than that news. It is
Yeah.
good news.
No,
honestly.
I get it. I mean, I'm a little sarcasm there, but
Hey, you
It just-
do remember I gave you a -2 one year? I should say you gave you a -2.
I think, yeah, I was gonna say, I think we gave us, but changing providers and then the
We had a
storm
nightmare.
that created,
We had a
that was not worthwhile.
And we've had Cigna before. This is our second go-around with Cigna. As a matter of fact, I don't know that you guys were here yet, but when we first went to Cigna 8 years ago, their network was a little bit sparse, and we actually built a bigger network for Cigna on behalf of you guys. So we had a few docs that weren't in the network. So when we came back, we knew that that network had already been built up. So there's not too many providers in this area that will not take Cigna. Because again, it would be a chiropractor 1 week, and then it'd be a doc 1 week. So we built out this network throughout time. So it's one of the stronger networks in Montezuma County because of that.
Okay. Anything, Laurel, that you or Jennifer, the health committee, would like to add? I mean, come on down to the mic. No, really add it. It's a workshop. Now's the time to add it. It's.
I mean, this is a good deal. We all budgeted for 9%, so it's kind of, the best scenario that we asked for. But it is a bigger picture issue, in my opinion, and I don't know what we do about that. I work in prevention every day, and nobody wants to listen until something happens, and then you're like, oh, okay. And there's only so much you can do. So, without buy-in, so hard to get that buy-in, and I don't, just don't want to be healthy. Like, they want to be healthy, it's just a commitment. Yeah. It's a lifestyle change, it's a, long term, you really have to think about it and want it, and,
Some people are afraid to find out what the results are.
but I'm thankful for all the work Jake's done because I.
Talking about us old guys again.
Yep, I know.
Well, thank you, Jake. Really, I
Yeah.
mean, I do mean that. Less the sarcasm this time, but
And thanks to you
It-
guys
it's
for
just
taking
hard.
the time.
it's just hard to see these increases like this all the time, every year, when with just a little bit of buy-in from everybody, it could be reduced.
Well, I mean, even as your broker, it's extremely hard on me.
Yeah.
I mean, I get your increase, and my initial's 26.9%. There's no way I could come down here and give you guys that. I mean, employees would have to pay half their paycheck at that point. So, I mean,
And what point does it become sustainable? I mean, there's a
Philosophically.
breaking point.
philosophically, I don't know that answer.
Yeah,
I don't. All I can do is do my best with what I'm given per year. I mean, will there be a time maybe we could get 2-year rate guarantees? That'd be great. That would make my life really easy, but I just don't foresee that. What
No.
we have to do is work within the parameters of what we have and just do the best we can. And again, an idea of just spitballing again, if maybe we gave everybody an hour off to go get their physical. I don't know. I mean, I think that would be a good start. Because a $25 gift card did not motivate anybody.
no.
Cigna has an app out there where you can track. I mean, what I would say, I'd say we're not dead in the water either. I'd say what we will do at renewal is we'll send out all the preventative and all the, all kind of like the wellness stuff that Cigna has available. There's plenty of stuff available to us for free that we can access. So I think maybe our job, what step we could do this year is at open enrollment, when we go to this platform, we can have more information on where do I go to have an app to help me track my calories? Where do I go to have an app to help me track how many times I've lifted this week? There are those things that are available to us, and it's all through Cigna. And it's, I wouldn't say free, because nothing's free, obviously, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
But what is
But
part of
if-
their service?
but if it's in the program and we're not taking advantage of it, I mean, that's money going to waste.
So I think one thing that we can do, so I don't want to say nothing, because it's never nothing, but I think what we can do is have more educational pieces on the website that's coming to you guys effective this new renewal. On that website, everybody will have access to more of the wellness. So my team will build that out to where when you're clicking through, you have that access to see that. So I think that's one step that we can all take to help mitigate some of this. And again, where we'll see it is here. We may see a slight uptick here, because again, people are getting things done that, you know, they didn't think needed to be done. But it saves us a $250,000 claim, theoretically.
Yeah.
So, I think that when I say nothing, I'm incorrect. I think that's what we'll focus on at open enrollment, is getting more material out there that gives people education. Even if it helps 3 or 4 people, it might be one of these 3 or 4 people.
Yes.
So that's what will change.
Okay. All right. Anything else? Nope. Okay. Thank you.
Thanks, Jake.
Thank you, Jake. Appreciate it.
Appreciate it, Jake.
And I'll be here tomorrow too. So
Okay.
Okay.
There's more questions tomorrow. I don't know what time I'm on, but I slotted till when I'm driving. Is that enough time?
Oh, yeah, we'll get you in and out.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, everybody.
Yep.
Take
Thanks.
care.
All right, next up, MoCo, we're going to talk about our fixed route feasibility study.
So, like I was saying the other day, we did get 3 proposals. I did have them sent to you guys, so did you guys have a chance to look those over? Okay. So, basically, that's what I wanted to do, is just make sure you guys had time to check them out. And then we can talk about, I know you can't make decisions today, but maybe tomorrow we can, do you have any questions on any of them?
I really do not.
I don't,
I mean, really, I think we're going to look at basically your recommendation. I don't know the differences in them per
Right.
se,
Mhm.
but, you know.
And I do have, I mean, my recommendation would probably be good to go for the lower proposal. They're local, I've actually worked with him before, but he is the lowest proposal, and he does that for a living, I guess, so, I don't know. I don't know if we can, I mean, I would think going with the lower one would be the best.
So do you want to pull that one up, Travis?
it was the first one, wasn't it?
Compass, I think, yeah. No, Compass is the one, not this one.
To the right.
Yes. Because he's quite a bit lower than everybody else. But he's got the same things in it, so. And our budget was 50,000 for this with a 10% match, so 40.
Okay.
And these are local?
One of them's Denver.
I'm talking Compass.
Compass is out of.
He's
Laplace.
in Lakewood. Huh?
Lakewood?
Yeah,
Okay.
Lakewood.
I don't know why I thought Laplace County.
Yeah.
It's because there was a picture out there, that's why.
Okay.
Yep. And then I'm
So
not
they're all covering the same criteria for the
They-
fixed route?
Yes, they all got the same
services, so-
criteria, so yeah.
This will
Okay.
serve your needs?
Yes. Yeah.
I don't have any questions.
I don't. I mean, it's pretty straightforward.
Commissioner Copenhaver? No? Okay,
Okay, then
Alright.
we'll see you tomorrow.
be on the agenda for tomorrow.
Right. Okay, I'll be here
Alright.
tomorrow. Thank you.
Thanks, Jennifer. And last but not least, Mr. Englehart, Road and Bridge. You're gonna talk to us about a repair or a replacement? or a-
Placement, actually.
Yeah,
So several years ago, we had a bridge up at Stapleton, or Road 36, which is the Stapleton Road, was failing. It was an old wood pile bridge with a kind of a rough put-together deck on it. And I believe I think it was Darren Goodall probably, was trying to haul cattle out of there. About lost that bridge while he was coming across with a cattle pot. So Jimmy Satley and I tore the bridge out real quick, or his crew did, and we put a 6-foot culvert in just to buy some time. And it lasted several years because of the drought, I guess. You know, it less water. But this year and last year, we've had significant damage to the culvert, and actually lost the road last year for several weeks, causing the family that lived back there to try to walk across an irrigation pipe, which is dangerous at the best. And we kept putting it together, and it kept washing it out. So I kind of mentioned in one of my meetings here a while back, or several months ago actually, about a multi-plate culvert. I think, Gerald, you mentioned that you guys bought that years ago. Well, we found all the parts and pieces to it. It's really quite a elaborate system that'll work very well there. So I got busy, and I had Ryan down at Stoner Engineering design a footing for it, which I have. Well, actually, that picture right there where Travis is at, that's what this thing looks like, less the bottom. We don't have a bottom floor, just the hoops and the tin.
so it looks almost like a,
It's like a multi-plate culvert. So the overall width now is 21 feet wide, 6 foot tall, which is like 4 6-foot culverts all in one piece, you know, which will let that water flow through more like a bridge rather than a restricted culvert. So we think we know this will be better than what we got. It'll probably be as good as any bridge we can build. So we got all the materials for that. It's been accounted for years, sitting out there, brand new, nothing wrong with it. All the bolts are there, everything we need is there. So we're good to go on that part. So I had Ryan design a footing for it, and he got with the reps and engineers at Contact and got with them, got all squared away with what we would need for a footing. And they designed us a footing and a slab to go underneath it. And I didn't think about slab in the beginning, but to keep the water from eroding underneath and taking the footings out, we need a slab. So we just did the whole thing correctly and put that out for bid, which I went out and got 4 different quotes, and 2 companies couldn't bid it because of scheduling conflicts, and one of them is DNL, understandably. They're trying to finish a bridge for us right now. And time is really of the essence on this project. If we're gonna do it now, we gotta go, or we're gonna wait till next spring and put up with the road washing out again.
Yeah.
So I went ahead and I got a hold of Rosso and Cruzan, and they're $400 apart. So I felt real comfortable that we're even Steven for what we're gonna get for the money, what we're gonna build. Now I'm just not sure which one of the companies I wanna use. I'm still working on some ideas, and it's gonna be one of these 2 though. So if it gets approved to go ahead and build that this fall, both of them are available mid-October, and both of them say 5 to 7 days to do the concrete. Our guys will do the rest of the work. We'll do all the dirt work, we'll do the excavation for the footings, we'll put the hoops in, we'll put the tin on, we'll backfill it, we'll do the whole works. But we do have to come in twice with the concrete crews because we got to build the walls after the contact thing is in place, so we can build to the radius of the bridge, you know, with our wing walls. So it'll be a pretty good little project, but I think we can get it done this year if we can get started in the next 10 days or so.
I don't have any questions.
I think we all saw the pictures of that road
Back in the
Last-
early
last
spring.
year.
Yeah.
in the
during-
spring. I mean,
yeah.
I think we saw several pictures of that during the Mr. Disaster, where's he at? Very disastrous
He
events.
went out
that we
looking for
had.
another disaster.
Yeah, I need to hurry up and get ahead of him on this one before he finds
And it's utilizing basically a box culvert or a Quonset hut that we have.
multi-plate type culvert, yeah, that's what it is. Yeah. So actually about 4 years ago, I had Ryan design an abutment, concrete abutment with pile to build another bridge. And it was gonna be worse for cost because
Oh, absolutely.
we had to buy everything. So, and it would have been a county-built bridge, just we'd have done all the work. But this is a good deal. This is a good system. And if you think about 21 feet wide, 6 foot tall, with just no flow restrictions, that'll carry a lot of water.
You just want to get this out of your yard, don't you?
No, I kind of like looking at it, you know? People stop and ask, what's that for, you know? So,
Well, actually, it will be,
Yeah,
it would be a good thing to get it out of your yard and
Well-
get it in the ground and get it to what?
yeah,
Where it was,
Because that, if I remember right, we bought that to go down there in Rock Creek.
Rock Creek.
On McCallum. But, and they didn't use it because we were gonna have put too much of a hump in the road or something.
they didn't hit bedrock. They thought they were on bedrock and they dug
Oh,
down, it
that's-
was
that's
one,
right.
it was
Yeah,
one
you're
boulder,
right.
and all they
That's
had
right.
was sand.
Yeah.
So it was, they just went and
That's
put
right.
culverts in, which is worked, it did well. So all this was purchased on the presumption that they had rock, didn't have rock, couldn't build it, and now we will do the same thing. Where this fits us so well is we're not in a deep creek here. Spruce Creek is a very shallow creek. The 6 foot culvert only has 2 foot of cover over it just to get a road across. So we're in a very shallow area here. So we'll have to X dam, get down to something solid, something reasonably solid, backfill with good compacted fill, which is all in the plans, and give him a grade to, pour the footings. While they're doing walls, we can do hoops and tin and start backfilling. This is actually a quick job
Yeah.
if we can get going here, so. And both companies are available.
and
just
it's
a matter of when, so.
dry right now, or?
Yes.
I'm
Yeah.
assuming.
There's some groundwater in it.
Somewhat.
Yeah, but there's
somewhat
no
dry.
live water running through it right now.
So very little
I don't know,
dewatering.
after last night and today, I don't know, there might be a little bit running through.
Wow.
We'll divert some of it, yeah. We'll put a trash pump in. But it is true. This is a good time of year to work on that particular one. And next spring, you'd have to wait till, spring runoff's over. It could be May or June or wherever it is. And then it'll dry up again. It does
Or
go dry
August.
during the summer. So,
Or September.
or September. But if we can't do it now, we will do what we did last year and, muddle our way through it and then do it again next spring. But I think we can get it all organized here. We should go for it this fall, so.
I don't have an issue with it. I think it's
No, I don't-
high time we use this thing if
Good place
it
for it.
works.
Yeah.
It's a good place for it and something that we don't have to deal with. I was reading on here that this thing is aluminum? Is that?
Yeah. Mhm.
It's aluminum?
Mhm.
Okay.
And you can make it however wide you want it. So it's built for a 60-foot base width with a 24-foot driving lanes coming up at 2 to 1. Our location is actually going to be 50 feet because we can't make 60 fit in there. We can, but just a lot more extra work, right? So we might even save a little bit on this quotes here because we won't use as much concrete. Because I had them bid it at 60 foot, just
Right.
across the board, everything even Steven. So we might save we will save a little bit on concrete, actually bring that price down just a hair, so. So, there we go.
All right.
But I'm not picking one tomorrow when I visit with you at Tuesday meeting tomorrow. I'm just telling you, that's the prices. The one that's highlighted in yellow is just the low. It's $400, and that's all I'm trying to point out. I'm not quite sure which one of these two can jump on it first. It's almost a first come, first served. Let's go, Both of them are very qualified and can do the job, so.
Question?
I don't have any. We need to fix it.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
That's what we'll do, so,
Better to be in the ground than sitting in a yard,
yeah.
somewhere.
Well, last year, just for the pure simple fact of safety, people walking across that old irrigation pipe up there without handrails or anything else, and it's like, that's dangerous too, so we don't want to do that again, so. Okay,
Okay?
Sounds good.
I'll see you guys tomorrow then.
See you
Those
tomorrow.
pictures from County Road Nora look good.
Excuse me, which ones?
The bridge.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, today we, I was out there and they got their curbs poured, so guardrails will be ready to install now. And I think that thing's coming together very quickly. Of course, it's raining today, so they're not
Yeah.
doing much today, but we'll take the rain, so, yeah.
Take it.
Okay, see you guys.
Thanks, Rob.
All right. That is all I have, unless Ian, you have anything to add?
I don't.
Okay.
One more thing.
Oh.
I hear rumor that we're doing another walkthrough for potential cleaners for buildings. And I just want to tell you that if they are, Deckers has done a fabulous job for us. Best job in years. So if it means anything in the next day or two when you're talking, I'd sure like to throw that hat in the ring again. So,
Okay.
okay.
Yeah,
Haven't-
I think they're doing their walkthroughs today and tomorrow.
That's what I
Is,
heard.
yeah.
But I just, we went through several cleaning services, and this one's been by far above the best. Doing a great job out there. Very nice, professional job. Okay?
Good.
See ya.
Sounds good. All right, then this meeting is adjourned.